again, that's a really important question, it seems to me. So I think the mediation starts when you select your mediator. So there'll be mediators you worked a lot with, there'll be mediators who are new to you, there'll be a mediator suggested by your opponent that you automatically think, whoa, is that the right person to have here? I think that selection process, rather than who's available, who can do it, clearly if it's an emergency, really quick fire mediation, then you have to regard that as that's the way it is. But if you've got a process that says, I think this case is suitable for mediator X, then that's when the mediation should start, really. So when mediator X picks the phone up to speak to the parties ahead of time, having probably at that stage had the case summaries through, then that's a process where you, the individual lawyer, are talking to the mediator, usually without your client on the call, in the room, whatever the phrase may be. And that's an opportunity to really sort of decide how you're going to play that with the mediator. I always say as a mediator that the mediation starts at the time of that first conversation. So the protections around it, the confidentiality, the without prejudice privilege starts at that stage, and I make that very clear. And that's designed to help the lawyer who may or may not have worked with you in the past to actually start to develop that confidence and credibility in the process and in you as the mediator in charge of the process, to actually start saying what he really thinks about the case. Now, that's a slightly naive comment, because I don't think lawyers ever tell you in that first conversation at least what they really think about the case. But if there are aims and objectives that won't have come out from the pleadings, that won't have come out from case summaries, but the client is motivated by those aims and objectives, it's really, really important for the mediator to know that early on, because he's not going to be saying anything in the other room about that, but he's on the top of the wall between the parties, and to be able to do the best job, he needs the best information. And so I always do encourage people, with varying degrees of success, I have to say, as a mediator, I always do encourage people to say, just tell me. Your client isn't in the room, you have the opportunity to talk one professional to another. I'm not suggesting for a moment you breach anything other than the professional solicitor-client relationship, but give me a feel for what's really motivating people here to go no further between the mediator and the party. And that, I think, helps the process. It saves a bit of time on the day, and it, most importantly, in my view, starts this credibility building, trust building that must exist between a mediator and the solicitor or counsel, and of course the lay client. And it's a bit like speed dating, isn't it? Because you have a really limited window to gain that confidence if you're going to do a good job on the day.